Excellencies, distinguished delegates and participants, dear children and dear youth, and dear Vlad, I am really happy to share this panel with you. We had a wonderful discussion just before, and you make it wonderful. So many thanks. I try to remember my early childhood, but since you asked about, and I have many difficulties regarding, remembering it. So I just want to tell you, thank you for the opportunity to join you today to discuss a significant topic for our society, inclusive and accessible early childhood development is essential not only for the individual child, as highlighted, but for the well-being for the whole society. I want to start by stressing, as you highlighted, Volker, that all children, including the very youngest and those in a most vulnerable situation, have rights that we forgot, including rights to development, protection, and participation, as outlined in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. Adopting a child rights-based approach to early childhood development is key for recognizing and respecting the inherent rights of every child from the earliest stage of development. Investing in inclusive and accessible ECD, leaving no child behind, is key for sustainable and people-centered development. To this end, let me share with you two key takeaways. Early childhood development is the foundation of sustainable people-centered development. As a pediatrician, I know how crucial a protective, safe, nurturing environment is to ensuring children's good health, nutrition, protection, early learning, and sense of belonging. The human brain develops wider and faster during the first 1,000 days of life than at any other stage. In the first few years of life, more than 1 million new neural connections are formed every second. Holistic nurturing care during this time is essential to ensure they reach their full potential. Responsive care is particularly critical during the prenatal period through the third year of life, when the child is primarily dependent on adult caregivers and parents. Healthy, positive interaction between infants and caregivers supports better brain development. Safety is a prerequisite for early childhood development. Early childhood programs not only need to prevent violence, but also emphasize the importance of early detection and intervention. Nurturing and safe care take place in the context of families and through service providers across many sectors. Health, nutrition, education, child and social protection that provides the essential care for children to survive and to thrive. How children are parented or cared for in the first years of their lives can affect brain function for the rest of their lives and may even affect future generations. When caregivers, family members, communities and services are unable to provide young children with nurturing and safe care, children can experience severe stress and psychological deprivation, which can have long-term effects on health, learning and behavior. And the consequences of a poor start in life affect not only present but also future generations. And I remind you that many countries committed to the Pact for the Future. The economic cost is also huge, with a loss of about a quarter of average adult income per year. My second key takeaway, investing in child rights-based early childhood development is crucial. Early childhood development services must be provided holistically across all relevant sectors to enable young children to thrive. Some countries have adopted multi-sectoral policies and are beginning to implement them. Other countries are expanding one set of services, such as social protection or pre-primary education, creating a wage for the introduction of other services. But there is still a lot to do to ensure that all children, and mainly the most vulnerable, have inclusive access to early childhood development. The responses are still fragmented, siloed, and not put at scale. Many children with disabilities from minorities living in poor families or in humanitarian settings have no access to integrated ECD services. Many families and caregivers are not provided with support for responsive caregiving. Need to do better, faster, to ensure that ECD policies and action place the rights and best interests of the child at the forefront of decision-making and program implementation. Policies must be designed in a way that guarantee access to quality early childhood services for all children, leaving no one behind. This means that the most vulnerable, children with disability, children from marginalized community, should be at the forefront of our efforts. Given the unprecedented humanitarian crisis due to conflict and forced displacement, we must ensure that ECD programs are embedded in the humanitarian response. Support to parents and caregivers is crucial. Ensuring social connection and support in times of need will help strengthen the resilience of parents in managing stresses and challenges they face. It means also creating safe, inclusive and equitable learning environment where children feel valued, heard, and empowered to express their thoughts, feelings, and to understand their rights. Listening to the voices of children is critical in creating programs that take into account the needs and the rights of the people they aim to serve. Fostering the exchange of best practices among countries and communities is also important. I want to end by telling we know what to do and how to do it. We have many evidence-based and cost-effective solutions to be brought up to scale and be shared. We must act faster to lay the foundation for a lifetime of well-being for the benefit of today's children, tomorrow's adults, and for future generations. Many thanks.